All right, so we're just down in here. We're gonna cut this way, go through the main campground here, stay to the left here, that loop, and then hop on right here. And then just go all the way around. Minnesota River Bluff Trail to the Setman Mill Trail on the other side on our way back. Here we go. It's a lot more humid here than it was in the cities earlier today. I know there's a guy called Mike's Wilderness, spelled M-Y-K-E, Wilderness. I'll slap a card up there, but check him out. This is kind of, Minneopa is kind of his stomping ground. At least it was, it probably still is. This is kind of where he does like nature courses and bushcrafting. So you might want to check out one of his videos called Stranded Canoeist. I'd recommend it. I had the pleasure of encountering him on one of my scouts here in the main campground back in December of 2023.
My name is Mike. I'm a volunteer here in the park. I've got a naturalist program coming up on Saturday on bushcraft, finding a kinship with the landscape. Said you're trying to build your skills and such, and when I look at your rig, I can identify quite a bit of that.
Are you going to camp out or anything?
Yeah, I got a spot here.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing this before the sun sets, and then I'm going to set up shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very good. I teach wilderness skills. I got the 10 C's of survivability on the back side, popularized by the Boy Scouts and Dave Canterbury and his Pathfinder school. But there's my YouTube channel address.
can hear a loud vehicle off in the slight distance. I believe that's 169. And then along this way there's a railroad that runs along the Minnesota River. So there is some noises here, city noises. Looks like we are heading downward. So we're gonna have to earn our way back. Oh, it's pretty grown in. Ooh. That might be the easier path. Okay. So here's the railroad. You can get like a fish smell. There's the classic. That's everywhere. Or there's spray paint. Alright, I didn't notice that we actually go under the railroad bridge. Wow. That's pretty cool. Minnesota River moving at a good clip. Oh, look at that. Whew. Very, very slippery. It's like a sand mud. Alright, so we're getting off into La La Land here. But this does look like some kind of trail. But I don't think it is. So we're gonna turn back. We're gonna attempt to check out some other parts of the park. This park kind of has some dead ends in it. It's got a dead end here as far as hiking goes. And then on the other side of the road, there's the falls, which is kind of popular. And that kind of dead ends too. There's really no trail to it. You have to drive there or walk, and not really a hike, but more of a walk. So I don't plan on going to the falls, but I do plan on walking around the bison area. So we're gonna make our way back, and we're gonna go ahead and hop on that trail that encompasses the bison area right here. So this is the bison area, and the orange line is the trail I got mapped out to go around it. I think it's about 6-7 miles. And we're down here. So we'll just backtrack up this way. We'll pop back through the group camp area. And I don't know which way we're gonna go at this point. If we'll take a right and go this way, or if we'll take a left and go this way. But we'll see. Now I am camping here tonight in the A Loop. This will be my third camp trip here. My first time in the A Loop though. It's usually closed. Like about half part of the year it's closed. And the last couple times I camped here was in the B Loop, because it was in the colder time of the year. One was in April and one was in December. So the A Loop was shut down for the season. So yeah, I'm staying at site A as in Alpha and the number 2, A2. It's ironic because I work with a guy called A2. You know, funny little story. About a year ago, shortly after I started my new job, I was really struggling to try to figure some stuff out, and that guy A2 was working in a cell assembling stuff, and I was just kind of hovering around him trying to figure out the parts I needed to count. And he was just getting a little irritated. You could just see he was getting irritated with me. And I said something like, I'm looking for this or something. He's like, and he's just really irritable. He was like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And the funny thing about that is he always wears a shirt, a Nike shirt that says "Just Do It." He's wearing it today, actually. Every time I see that, I just kind of smile. It's one of those cool little fun treats that life gives you every now and then. He's not an irritable guy, though. He's a real good guy. I'm the irritable one. That I can tell you. I'll just ramble a little more while we're backtracking. So this is my third camp trip in July of this year. And the first two were a little brutal. First one, I had a good hike at Rice Lake State Park on the 4th of July. But I was camping next to a small community group camp that played music all night. And it was insanity. It was very depressing and sad. Just wrong place, wrong time. The second camp trip was at Monson Lake State Park. That one's in Sunburg, Minnesota. Western Minnesota. There's a lot of pollution in the air. I had a good hike, but once my camp neighbors showed up, the guy was complaining to his girlfriend about how they couldn't camp at Sioux City because they wouldn't have any savings left. Which makes sense why you'd even be camping at all. Then they inflated their air mattress with a high screeching sound pump that lasted about as long as it would take to inflate a bouncy castle. They were quiet all night, but then the next morning I was awakened by the sound of their generator in our non-electric camp at 7 in the morning. So I left early. Now this one I do have neighbors that aren't as close, and it's supposed to rain all through the night. So maybe God's getting sick of playing practical jokes on me. Maybe I'm making him tired. Okay, so I believe the outlook's this way. Let's take a look at it. I looked at it during the scout too of the group camp. Ooh. It's got root steps for a trail. That's pretty cool. Pretty steep drop off there. If you're fearful of heights, you feel it when you're looking at it from here, trust me. And I don't even want to try that. We've had pretty good cell service here the whole time. That sounds like a red squirrel. Those are the craziest out of all the squirrels. So I think we're going to start on the northern part of the trail, I guess you could say, the northeastern part of the trail first. That way, on our way back, walking down this way, we should see the sun setting to our right. So we might see more of the golden hour. But on this side that we're going to start first, it's more shade. And there might not even be a sun. And there is a possibility it'll rain, and I'm risking it. I don't have any rain gear. But that's okay. I have a change of clothes. Alright, so we're just down in here. We're gonna cut this way, go through the main campground here, stay to the left here of that loop, and then hop on right here. And then just go all the way around. Minnesota River Bluff Trail to the Setman Mill Trail on the other side on our way back. Here we go. And this is the area where I encountered Mike from Mike's Wilderness in December of 2023. I was doing a scout of the campground, and boom, he was here. Hey!
Hey!
Are you connected to somebody or just
I just need to ask, are you training?
Just exercise.
Good loadout.
Trying to build my skills, you know, get my mind on something.
Okay. For the apocalypse. That's what it looks like.
Every other day it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for making everything more meaningful and memorable, Mike. Thank you, man. I'm not going to do a scout of this camp. I do have a scout of that already, so you probably click that in the end of the video. But This was a site I always had my eyes on, but it's just so close to this one. Then you have a reasonable distance from this one to that one, but the problem is these two are so close to each other, so it's a risk. And I camp almost every weekend, so I can always just roll the dice and come at it again another weekend. But not everyone has the luxury of doing that because of their responsibilities or the things they're required to do as a result of their decisions in life. So noise matters. Having no neighbors matters. Kind of shocked at how empty this campground is right now. Well, it'll probably start filling up here pretty soon. I think this is the one Stinkleberry Farmer stayed at once.
I think it was Billy Idol who said it's a nice day to go camping.
These are the restrooms over here, and they're not too fancy schmancy. It was really a vault toilety smell in there. I'm pretty sure there are vault toilets in there, but there was a urinal. It was a pretty potent smell in there though. A2 is right over there where I'll be staying. There's some stagnant water over here, so it's probably Mosquitoville, but that's okay. And here's the entrance to the B loop. And again, I do have a scout of this entire campground, except a couple sites that were occupied. So we're approaching a trail here pretty soon. Here's where you exit the B loop. This trail should be coming up to our right here pretty soon. Yeah, right here. Oh, there's a bunny. We'll be walking near bison. Oh, that's a baby bunny. That is adorable. Oh my God. Oh wow. You know, this is one of the best places, I think, that a bunny could be born. Pretty rough in the city for the bunnies. Here we are, bison enclosure, all along here, and there's a road for vehicles to drive right through the middle. Oh, there's a plane up there. They might be cloud seeding because there's supposed to be storms tonight. So yeah, we're gonna go around this. I'm gonna go around. We won't meet back up here though. We'll come out right here and go around. Or we might come back. I kind of want to go around and come in this way. The area we just turned the other direction from. I kind of want to cut through there to see what it looks like. can see the railroad down there, really close. Might be some kind of water runoff or something. Yeah, so I can tell this is going to be a pretty long one. I don't really have any supplies on me, no food or water, so I'm just going to be taking it really easy. I did have a little bit of a headache before I started, but I took some Tylenol or generic acetaminophen or ibuprofen. I'm not sure which is which. It's not Advil, it's the Tylenol looking pills. Dyslexic. I say I'm dyslexic, but it's not 100% accurate. It's kind of a blanket statement, because if there's two options of something, it's constantly flipping in my mind. Unless I have a reference, something I can look at, it's kind of like in a super state in my mind. It could be either or. And usually by the time I decide on which one I think it is, it's the wrong one. So there is a fair amount of gnats out here. but they're not as crazy. They're not just like flying in my face and sticking to my sweat. Last year at Killen Woods State Park, that was pretty insane. They were just stuck all over my body. It was just hot and sweaty, and they were just stuck all over. And we're just running right along parallel to that railroad. I'm surprised we haven't had a train roll by yet. And this railroad, it does run right by the main campground, the A and the B loop, and the Red Fox campground. But in my experience, the train it's not too frequent, and they don't blare the horn like they would at Camden State Park. I'm not trying to hate on Camden State Park, but that train that goes along that campground there, I'm leaving the upper campground, that is, specifically, that is fairly frequent, and they really hold down that horn. I'd say like every hour and a half, that thing comes in a-blazing, and it is loud. Painfully loud. But it's not as belligerent here at Minneopa. Looks like we have a choice here as far as the trail goes. Okay, so this actually curves in toward the bison enclosure. If we go this way, we'll just keep riding alongside of it. Or we can head down here and be closer to the railroad and the river. And so far, I haven't seen any bison, so I'm kind of thinking we got more of this on the way back. Let's go ahead and check this out down here. And going this route, the gnats will pass their baton to the mosquitoes. That should be a blue jay. You know, the blue jays and the eastern gray squirrels, they're all over the main cities. They're all over the state parks. But I'm always happy to hear them and see them. Oh, there it is. There it is. Now we know. Now we know. Mosquitoes are crazy because they're basically flying syringes. It's a little extreme. Yep, and it definitely gets more humid in the woodland areas. I did have a reasonable amount of water today, but if I continue at this rate of exertion and sweating, I'll probably start getting fairly thirsty. Hour and a half. I had an Uncrustables before I headed out on this hike, so I probably won't get hungry. There's a little flock of mosquitoes following me, pouncing on me. But it's not the park's fault. Bugs are normal. Depends on the time of year. Sect: season, environment, climate, and terrain. I'm not totally sure why there's this. Oh, looks like that other trail would meet up right here, I think. Okay. All right. So we're around this part here. We're up here now. Okay. So the bison enclosure will be picking up on our left again. Wow. That butterfly looks like a leaf with its wings closed, but as soon as it opens them up, it almost looks like a monarch. And I can't identify it when the wings are closed, like a leaf. Surprised they didn't fly away when I got that close, but it did not want to open its wings. If it did, I probably would have been able to identify it. I kind of planned on hiking this trail for probably about 3 years now, but I just, whenever I got here, it never seemed like the right thing to do based on the time of day that I got here and the time of year. But yeah, today looked like a perfect time. I knew it was going to be a little bit of a longer one, and I'm not super stoked about checking out bison, to be honest. That's kind of probably why I've been putting it off. I also assumed that it was going to mostly be in the open in direct sunlight, but there is a lot of shaded areas along this trail, so even though it's not sunny out, it wouldn't be too bad if it was. That might change. Some kind of structure off in the distance. Might be a historic site. You probably can't see it at all. Yeah, it's probably this, the Setman windmill on the other side, or right over here. Oh, we'll check that out when we get to it. It's nice and breezy up here. I'm able to cool down. When I went in the woodland area, it got real humid and I started to sweat more. So my tank is pretty much drenched again. But up in this area by the bison enclosure, it's nice and breezy. You're able to cool down, save on hydration. Yeah, so we haven't seen any bison yet from here, which is not a shock. The closest I've gotten to bison has got to be about 100 yards, maybe 150 yards, when I was at Blue Mound State Park in southwestern Minnesota, in Laverne, Minnesota. I'm not really into, I'm not too stoked about checking out the bison. I really don't like zoos. So it's not really something I look toward to doing. It would kind of neat to see one though from the hiking trail. And I think they're pretty dangerous too. The sun's peeking a little. So far, yeah, I've done a lot of hiking and camping this year, but July is really when the mosquitoes started picking up. And I think that's kind of late in the year. So I think we got a little lucky this year by taking so long for them to come out, and at least maybe I just got lucky. But I thought I heard Kenny of All Trades mention that earlier in the year too. I didn't quite see mosquitoes yet. You know, that lady I encountered at the group camp scout, she seemed pretty interested in my chest rig.
Look out that way, sir.
So
look out that way.
I'll go straight here and you take it right.
Okay.
And kind of keep curving to the right, and you'll see it right on your left.
What's that?
What? What's what?
This thing.
It's just a chest rig.
Is that a camera?
Yes, camera. Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just thought it was really cool.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. And yeah, it does look kind of cool. Funny side story. Last weekend, when I got pulled over for speeding, the officer, the sheriff in Meeker County, he took a while to get back to my window from his car. And then when he finally came back to my window, the first thing he said was, "So what's with the chest rig?"
So what's with the chest rig?
I just wear this. I'm gonna go hiking, go camping, so I like to wear it.
Okay.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'd recommend you check out Full Tang Tactical, JT at Full Tang Tactical. He makes the probably the best chest rigs in the world.
Today I'm here to demonstrate our new modular kit bag slash chest rig. This thing is really awesome. What really inspired me to make this kit bag is I do a lot of hiking in the woods. I grew up in North Carolina as a young boy, hiking in the woods, hunting with my dad, and I always wanted something, you know, some way to carry my gear and my essential items on my chest, on the front of my body, instead of just on my backpack.
Handcrafted in the backwoods of Tennessee. You got Lucky 7 here. So Minneopa State Park it's in Mankato, Minnesota. And when you enter Mankato, coming from the Twin Cities, you first enter the north part of Mankato, and then you travel through it, and then you get to the South Bend portion, and that's kind of where Minneopa is located, towards the South Bend portion of Mankato, Minnesota. I got goosebumps. I don't even know why. Like I can't even feel them. There's some kind of yellow birds up here. And it flew away before I could try to zoom in with higher quality. It's probably not too big of a concern of mine, but all these mosquitoes, I'm kind of a little anxious that I might wake up with a shrunken head. Like on Beetlejuice. So now that was a common nighthawk. I don't think I've experienced that. So they're around here. You can hear them anyways. But I just got assaulted by one of those striped deer flies. Or as I pronounced it when I first identified it, stripped deer fly. So there's gnats, mosquitoes, and striped deer flies. Ooh. So I'm smelling some kind of excrement. I'm assuming it's bison excrement. So yeah, I'm starting to get bit pretty good. This is making me want to walk faster, which will make me sweat more, which will attract mosquitoes more, and it will dehydrate me quicker. All right, I think we just finished that side of it. Yep, we're starting to curve around here towards the tip. You know, even though there's a lot of bugs right now, it's still not literally a jungle. So I would assume it's essentially a joke compared to a jungle. Yeah, it is getting crazy though with the mosquitoes. I don't wear any bug spray or any permethrin. I don't have any loose layer. I'm just wearing a tank. I got an open neck. I do got a do-rag though, so that helps. Some flies and mosquitoes can bite right through it though. So a boonie hat in addition to that would be nice, but I didn't bring it. But that's okay, because when I'm freezing later this year in the winter trips, I can just remember these moments. Just like I can remember how I was freezing in those moments now. It's kind of funny because whatever moment you're living in, you're kind of wishing for that other moment. Even though you're in it, you'll wish for the other one. Because I thought I was ready for the cold weather again, because the heat was just crazy for the last couple weeks. And then it dropped down to the 50s. And I just got a taste of that chill again, and I don't know. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect, I guess. But it should get somewhat chilly tonight. Upper 50s, lower 60s. That should be enough to keep the tent cool. The mesh will keep the bugs out. The rain should keep the noise out. Unless they're playing bassy music, like they were the first trip of this month. Oh. Oh, wow. There's no way you can even take a rest right now. Even though it'd be nice if I could, just to kind of take my boots off and air out my feet and try to ease up on the blister potential. But my feet are doing fine. I got the double wool socks, the felt wool insoles covered with wool socks as well. There's a lot of padding, a lot of moisture absorption. My boots are nice and big. My toes aren't hitting the top or anything. They move around loosely. I can wiggle my toes. All that mitigates blisters. I feel fine right now. My biggest concern with my feet is the nails. So I'm getting to that point where I might need to clip them soon, which is kind of a gross subject, but a lot of times when you're hiking and you're using your toes a lot and the nails, it's almost like they grow more while you're hiking, and they can reach that point where they're ready to be clipped, but you're being a mid-hike. Especially if you got a lot of gear that you're toting, putting a lot of weight in on your feet. This year I've been doing it light though for the gear, just the chest rig. Helps me kind of enjoy the moment more. I went like two or 3 years with a 60-pound ruck, making myself do it. So it was hard for me to kind of just do it without feeling guilty, but now I just love it. I got the right chest rig, and it's pretty great. All right. We got a little barricade here. That's almost tradition on every hike. Got to keep moving because of the bugs. Mainly the mosquitoes. But when I came here in April and when I came here in December, there weren't any mosquitoes. Gee, I wonder why. It's not the park's fault when there's bugs. Anyone who's like an avid hiker, I'll never understand why you complain about bugs. Because you should understand seasons. You should understand the time of year, the environment. You should understand all of that. So to blame a park for bugs, it's pretty sad. Now, people who camp once or twice a year in a plush RV, yeah, I can kind of see why you complain about bugs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're getting some sprinkles of rain. Uh-oh. So I rolled the dice and didn't bring any rain over gear. So if I get too wet, I'm gonna have to dip into my backup clothing. And ironically, we're about as far out as we can be from where our main gear is stashed. What do you know? Right at the tip. Right at the tippy top. But it probably wouldn't matter because if I did wear it, I would sweat so much anyways. Whew. Hope there isn't any silver iodide or strontium in these raindrops. Woo. So mosquitoes are so bad, I'm urged to actually just start running a little bit. But that'll make me sweat a lot and use up a lot of calories. Then I'll start to get hungry. I risk my headache coming back. So I'm just gonna keep at this pace, stay calm, and just keep swatting. And there is way more woodland area here than I was predicting there would be. So I don't think I could recommend hiking this trail in July. But maybe April, early May, that'd probably be ideal. Mid to late October, possibly. And any time November through April. There might be snow, though. They might actually block it off for snowmobiling or something. I'm not sure. All right, so the area is we're about to reach an opening here, thankfully. Not to complain, but I'm so good at it in real life. Okay. All right, so the road that goes through the middle of the enclosure for the bison is that way. You definitely do not want to walk in there if you're not in a vehicle. And mosquitoes are still hitting me out here. I got so many floaters in my eyes nowadays, it's hard to even see the mosquitoes. It's pretty terrifying, actually. Pretty terrifying. Oh well. You know, my floaters never go away. They never dissipate. But I do find a little solace in knowing that when I die, those mother effers are gonna dissolve into dust where they belong. Floaters should not exist. Let's see if this is electrified. I'll probably loosen more floaters. So luckily it was just a few sprinkles. It wasn't a downpour or rainfall. There's another one of those yellow birds. There's another one right there. I'm not sure what they are. There's a lot of mosquitoes here, so it's a little risky. Wow. I stopped for just a few seconds and then mosquitoes just start coating me. Wow. So this is probably the worst I've seen it so far for the year. Which makes sense. Wow. Whew. Oh, there's a baby over here. You know, they just might be seeding the skies with those planes. I guess cloud seeding is it's kind of a common thing. It's not a conspiracy. And I also learned recently that they do a solar energy modification. It's a way to kind of block out the, solar radiation modification. It's a way to mitigate the sun rays, essentially. I think that's what I've been experiencing or witnessing, specifically when I was at Monson Lake State Park. There was a lot of pollution in the air from the Manitoba wildfires, allegedly. But that always seems to occur whenever the sun seems to be more golden than it usually is. Now, it is possible that the smoke is making it so the sun appears more golden. But it seems to me that the sun is golden no matter what. then the smoke or the pollution occurs afterwards and during the sun is golden. So solar radiation modification, that's kind of where I'm at with that theory on that. So I haven't seen any bison at all. There's a lot of growth though in here, so you can't really see straight through. They might be more towards the middle. Yeah, my tank is soaking wet. No different than if I was in a downpour, so it wouldn't even matter. My pants are holding up okay though. Oh wow, that windmill's way up there. I think back there was a path to get to it, or it might be up here, there might be a path. I just heard a chronic smoker cough, so maybe there's a way to get up there. Ooh. There's a plane up there. Sounds like a commercial airliner though. Well, that's kind of neat. Foxtail barley. Yes. Yes. Okay. Whew. The temperature is rising. 77. See it rain later. All right, we're coming upon a trail here. Oh, come on. So you can park over there in your vehicle and walk over to it, but I can't go up that trail. Otherwise I might be prosecuted. Yeah. Get as close as we can here. Ooh. There's some humans up there. Maybe I can make them come over here or something. There's more humans. Oh. Ooh, a lot of nature smells in here. Sensitive resource. I'm kind of glad that's blocked off, to be honest. There's a lot of bugs out here. Oh, wow. Oh, there's a trail right here. Orange daylily. Oh my God. Well, let's see if we can get up there. See if it'll let us. Ooh, wow. Looks like we'll be able to get up here, and there'll be a nice overlook of the enclosure. Oh, wow. Gotta be careful not to overexert myself. Don't have any resources. Wow. Focus your hand on me. Alright. Alright, mission accomplished. Did it. Ooh. All right. This kind of reminds me of Mount Tom at Sibley State Park. Which is probably 80 miles north of here, maybe, roughly. Slightly northwest. It's pretty cool timing. A windmill. The Setman Mill. Oh, there's a vault toilet. And the parking's just down there. That's where all the humans are coming from. Okay. Probably where all the cool kids go. Oh. You get like a real historic smell in there. Ah. All right, we made it. We made it. Looks like we got a 68 behind us, the road. Not sure if that's a highway or a county. That's pretty nice up here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I got good cell service up here too. All right, so went all the way around. We're at the historic site. Now we're gonna fulfill our destiny and make our way back and begin our camp. Which I probably won't document that, but that's okay. We got the Lake Maria one coming up. We're gonna do that one. So other than being down by the river, I think that was my favorite part. It's cool to finally do this hike. It's not super scenic, but it's still a nice hike. And again, I'd recommend a early May or a mid to late October go at this hike. It was a little rough with the bugs here in July, but you probably wouldn't get such a spectacular view. Well, maybe in October you would though. Might even be better. But I'm pretty sure the view that we just saw today is probably better than the one you'd see in May. But there are some flowers that peak in May. I'm not sure if they're here. There probably are some. Every season is special. So once we get back down in this area, in the main hiking area here, the mosquitoes are pretty bad again. And I've swatted a lot of mosquitoes, and so far none of them have had blood, which I know is kind of gross. But when I was at Monson Lake, I swatted like 2 or 3 of them. It looked like human blood, man. So I don't know, it could have been an animal's blood, I don't know, but that's never a good look when that happens. I mean, that's a bloodborne pathogen that can be serious. There's the bunny. I wish the bunnies knew that I wouldn't hurt them or do nothing mean to them. But I'm pretty sure I do have kind of a wild energy about me. Like a weird, archaic, maniacal energy. That's what it was. That yellowbird was the American goldfinch that we've been seeing a lot of. Wow. So as far as apps go, this Merlin Bird ID is a jewel. It's a staple in my apps. Also the Seek app, that's a jewel. The Precious Avenza Maps app, that's a jewel. And in the nighttime, for the most part, Stellarium. And then of course weather and health, but the first four aforementioned, those are my staple apps for hiking and camping, really. I tend to use those frequently. The Merlin Bird ID app, I had to put in an email for that, and I wasn't too happy about that, but I didn't have to pay any money or subscribe, and I'm not getting harassed with any pop-ups so far. Stellarium, I think I paid for that one, but that was well worth it. Avenza's free. That is just a phenomenal app. The developers who come up with that, wow, I wish you worked at Microsoft. You guys are awesome. Not that I really use much of Microsoft, but when I'm forced to at the jobs I work at, I'm antagonized by how crappy the OS is. And it gets worse and worse. Every few years it gets worse. But enough of that. So when I did this hike, well, I've been planning on doing this hike for years now, I always kept in mind that there's a really good chance I wouldn't even see any bison. And I'm really not that stoked to see any anyways. But if your main goal is to come out here and see bison, you may end up coming up with nothing like I did. And for me, that's okay. That's fine. But it might be a little bit of a buzzkill if that's purely what you came here for. So if you're coming here, it's a bunny. If you're coming here to see bison, you might want to be in a vehicle and you might want to drive in the middle of the enclosure in your vehicle. And Stinkleberry Farmer did a video of his camp trip here, and there's a part of that video where he actually goes in and drives in with his vehicle and shows you his experience. So I'll slap a card for that. Another bunny. just too much of a city boy. I have zero ability to connect with these animals in like a telepathic, spiritual way. So we're heading closer to that road again. We can hear more vehicles. Gonna tighten up the rig a little. It'll let me. Okay. I got this full tank tactical chest rig, and I made my own modifications to it, so I really customized it to how it fits my personal needs. Man, it is phenomenal. Wow, it is phenomenal. So I had to make my own belt keepers to keep some of the straps in place. Just my own personal preference. And I put a helmet ghillie over it. And I modified where I put the front buckles, or the side buckles. They were side buckles. Generally they're on the side for everybody, but I put them up on the front so it hunkers everything in nice and tight so it doesn't flop. Some kit bag or chest rig companies, they'll sell an extra part, like an extra strap that'll help hunker in the sack or the chest rig from flopping on your chest when you run. But me, I just take the buckles that are on the side and I put them directly on the front. That way the straps come around the side and grab the front and pull it in. And then you don't have extra big buckles in between your arm and your chest that your arms are going to rub against. That was a big problem for me, especially with the hill people gear. chest rig, the big buckles on the side. Those were a really big problem for me. And the back, the mesh part of the back on the Hill People gear one, it would ride up too high on the back of my neck. And those are really the only two qualms I had about that. Those are pretty good chest kit bags too. Hill People gear. But there was a quality issue. It was a little bit off. The mesh was a little off. And I think there was a sizing issue because it always rides up the back of my neck. Maybe it would fit more on a wider, bigger guy. I'm a little guy, so. But the Full Tank Tactical completely eliminates. It doesn't have the mesh on the back. It just has a streamlined, like a strip. And it doesn't ride high at all. It stays nice and low. Man, it is a game changer, man. I get irritable really easy if I'm always feeling something weird or something's always riding on me. There's another bunny. So the Full Tank Tactical chest rig, you're going to want to get a few accessories for it too, probably. But once you get the several accessories to kind of beef it up a little, it's going to be about $230 as of the date of this body cam. The one that I get though, and I just got another one actually on the way, a wintertime version one, slightly different look, same size. I get the comfort straps, get like a kangaroo pouch and a divider, and so all the accessories said and done, it's about $320, shipping included. So that's not cheap. But I tested this one out, and I know I'm gonna have that thing for years. It's gonna be able to handle a lot of stress. It's modifiable. And the Hill People chest kit bag that I got, that's pretty. I still got that on as a backup if I need it, and it'll work great. I know how to use it the way I need it. It's not going to be my go-to, but I would recommend those too. That one, there's really no accessories that you get with it. It just kind of comes as it is, at least for me. It was like $160, $170, I think. But Rush 511 makes one for under $100. And I haven't tried that yet, but Rush makes really good packs. So if you haven't tried a kit bag yet, I would highly recommend you check it out, because for me a kit bag or a chest, aka chest rig, has been a game changer as far as what I do and how I do it. And that Rush, the Rush 5.11, or I'm not totally sure off the top of my head, but the Rush kit bag, it's like 60 bucks or something. I haven't tested that, but I have really high hopes, high faith that it will deliver very well. So if you're going to start off with a chest rig / kit bag, probably start with the Rush, and then from there, after you played with it and get familiar with how it feels and how it looks and how you want to adjust it, I just make the leap and get the Full Tank Tactical one within like a year or so, if you're able to. Or you can check out a Hill People gear one as the next one. But that, if you want to just go right with the Full Tank Tactical, just do that. The problem with that is you're not going to know how awesome it is unless you've tried other ones, other kit bags. So you might not be able to appreciate the certain aspects of how awesome it is. That's why I'd recommend you get another one that kind of level up to it first. Alright, so we're almost towards the beginning of the bison enclosure. So I'm just now starting to feel a partial hot spot developing on my left foot. It's kind of underneath my toes, on the front part right here, underneath the toes. So I always stay mindful of how I walk. I practiced rucking for a couple of years before I started doing this stuff as much as I do now. So I got a little bit of experience as far as being mindful of how I walk. I have the proper foot gear. I'm very cognizant of foot care. So I just kind of stay on top of it. But I've never really walked like more than maybe 13 miles. That might be my max actually, 13 miles. With like a 60-pound ruck. That was an urban hike though, just kind of like a city hike. So I've never really touched like them crazier 20 to 50 mile ones, like probably like the Marines would do. But I've never touched nothing like that. But I got enough experience now where it's just I'm not as like nervous when it comes to thinking about like if I have to walk for a distance or I have to get my groceries on foot. I got a rucksack, so I literally did like grocery shopping with my rucksack for a while on foot. It was like a 2 or 3 mile urban hike with my rucksack. So I always got like that in my back pocket, you know, like so it's kind of like a form of insurance. Like the vehicle goes down or something happens, that little bit of experience will kick in and help me out. It's just always nice to have that in the back of my mind. Whereas before I had that, I was just, whenever I think about situations like that, it'd just be in a form of panic. Or one time years ago, when I first moved into my apartment, I had a girl's bike that someone gave me. And I tried driving to the grocery store with it, and I didn't get that many groceries at all. I could barely ride it back. But with the rucksack, I could walk to the grocery store easily and then walk back with probably 3 times the amount of stuff that I had on that bike. and just get like a nice sweaty workout on the way home. You feel better when you get home. You feel stronger. You're not as depressed because you got a good exercise, good workout. You're kind of proud of yourself. All types of benefits. There's a couple dingleberries that I ran into on the way, of course. Like one thick-necked guy just wanted to ridicule me. You could tell he's just a bully. Some other guy, short beard, dreads, wanted to use my Wi-Fi, man. To navigate around the knuckleheads. And that bully guy that I mentioned a second ago, I'd see him in the neighborhood. He'd walk to the store and then he'd be walking back with he'd be holding 2 bags. And he's a bigger guy. He's got muscle. But it's just like, he'd ridicule me for doing something smart. He probably thought I was trying to look cool, like I was in the military or something, which I get that. I understand that. But sometimes when you're trying to be a better person, you got to step it up. And people might try to shame you for that. But you can't let them get to you, though. So I'd see him walk into the store and walking back, holding his 2 little bags. And I could handle 3, 4, maybe 5 times what he was doing. He's probably 3 times my size. But he got the nerve to ridicule me. It's probably just jealousy, you know, but whatever. It's all part of the journey. All right, so we're at the entrance to the state park, and there's the sign to the state park. They got a really cool sign here. I'm starting to get really thirsty now too, so this is a really good time to get close to the end here. I think we balanced it just right with how we paced ourselves. Yeah, they got a real beautiful, colorful sign here, like Rice Lake does, Cipher-Tu Lake. You got the waterfall. There's a lot of people who have videos with the waterfall. You might want to check those out. Some kind of bird, I don't know what that is. On there, we were just there. Wow. The waterfall's on the other side of this road just down that way. Probably about a 1/4 mile, maybe half a mile. I don't really like driving to other parts of the park to experience certain parts of the park if I don't have to. So I might check that out one day. I'm not sure when I'll come back here though. I'll probably take a break from this park for maybe a year. We'll see. I don't want to do any repeats this year. Like last year I didn't go to the same park more than once. And I kind of like that. So this year I'm not going to do any repeats. Which is a little irritating because I started off the year at Lake Bemidji State Park in January, Site 1. And while I was there, I scouted that campground. I got a video of that too. You should check it out. It'll help you make a decision, but it was in the winter, so everything's coated in snow, but it'll still help you make a decision as far as which site you're gonna pick. Okay, so this trail picks up over here. Yeah, so like I was saying, I picked out a spot there. and it'd be ideal for like the summertime or the fall or the spring. But I don't want to go back there in the winter because I already did a winter one there, and I can't go to the site I picked out there in the winter because that part is closed out. They only have limited sites in the winter. So yeah, I can't do no repeats this year. It's kind of a rule, so I'm gonna have to hold off till next year. And because I don't want to do one there in the winter, it means I might not be able to get there till spring of 2026. So, I mean, things can happen. You don't even know if I'm not even be able to do this kind of stuff anymore at that point. But either way, it's on the docket. I got probably 15, 20 state forest campgrounds scouted. Those are all on the docket. Yeah, so that's right down there for the waterfall. Oh, there's the waterfall. That's what the bison look like. We were on this trail and we saw this. There's the one camper cabin at the B Loop in the main campground. There's only one, and I'm pretty sure Stinkleberry Farmer stayed at that one too. So we stayed at the cabin in the B Loop, and he also stayed at I think site 23 or 24 in the A Loop. I'll let those people register with me not there, so it's not weird. Ooh. I have a talent for just making situations become terrifyingly awkward. Oh, there's another bunny. There's another bunny. Okay, we're going to continue down here. You know, I'm really optimistic about my camp tonight. You know, the first two of this month weren't. The neighbors were really stupid. They were just. It's just really sad because I got terrifyingly annoying neighbors at home in my small cubby of an apartment, above me and in the next to me. And it's going on 8 years of the horror of being next to one of the most horrible human beings I've ever encountered in my life, actually. So hopefully I'll be able to move out here in a couple months. I'm really hopeful, but this knuckleheaded leasing agent won't get back to me. And I got kind of a tight budget as far as where I can go. And all you see anywhere is luxury lofts. Like why can't we gentrify some practicality lofts? Why has everything got to be luxury everywhere? Oh man, it's pretty frustrating. Yeah, so when I come out here camping, and if I got an annoying neighbor, it's just like I just can't escape it. It's just pure terror, unmitigated horror. But back to this. This is the dumping station for the campground. Registered campers only. I always pack in and pack out. Even though technically I pay for this when I camp here, I always bring my garbage home and dispose of it there. Anything I leave here would be like toilet paper that I burnt or the wood that I burned, and it's burnt up, so it's gone. And I don't leave no trash in the fire pit. Oh. Yeah, well, thanks for taking a hike with me. And check out my scout of the group camp I did earlier today. And check out my scout of the main campground that I did in December of 2023. Oh. And I plan on having another camp one at Lake Minneopa State Park. So that's gonna be a backpack one. This one looks a little more serious, especially with a big ruck. There's not really a walk around, so I risk getting it caught on pretty much anything. Okay. Well, that's a little weird. Very muddy. Gotta watch that my boot doesn't get stolen. Wow. All right, here we are. Here's our neighborhood. B5. All right, here we go. And they left it in great shape. Thank you guys. Thank you. We'll see how that goes. I'm probably gonna try not to talk as much in that one. But once I open my mouth, it's hard to shut it. But it just makes editing a pain in the neck because this microphone on this body cam does not respond well to varying sounds. So there's a lot of editing to make sure you can hear what needs to be heard. And I turn down what is gonna make you feel pain as far as peaks and distortion. And I am aware in editing how I talk a little too fast. And it's because my mind is always racing. So I'm going to try to work on that. So self-improvement is a big part of all of this for myself, and mental health, physical health. So I'm going to work on that. A lot of good nature smells in here right now. I'm kind of glad it was more of a grayish day because the sun has been getting a little extreme. And you notice there's no Manitoba wildfire pollution because there's no sun to have to block out. Just saying. And I don't smell any of that pollution. It was a horrible smell. It was like an electrical fire smell. I asked several people that live in the metro area what they thought, and they said it was kind of like a sulfurish smell. A lot of people didn't experience it the same day I did, but the very next day I just started getting responses from people saying, oh, I see it now, I smell it now. All right, we're approaching the group camp park area. I'm gonna wind things down. I'm gonna stay happy, stay healthy. Take care. I'm actually going in behind my site. There's not going to be a good pathway there from where I'm going and a good shortcut, so I'm going to backtrack a little. Some kind of mushroom or fungi. Wasn't able to quite identify it. All right, off to the camp. Take care.